What's up guys, Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make shadow and obscure shape style Hardgroove techno. To go along in this video, make sure to grab this template at the top of the description on my website. Everything you just heard in the intro, the whole Ableton file, as well as the samples and the MIDI and the presets are all available at the top of the description on my website. Don't miss out guys, this is something that'll help you make the best Hardgroove track of your life today. I promise. I've seen people change their production around just by grabbing these. So definitely go there, links at the top of the description. Thanks for the support everyone. And let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we got up here is the low end. So this is a nice hard-hitting rumble kick. The way I made this is we're just starting with a kick. You'll notice I cut out a bit of sub on the kick because there can be a lot of like frequencies that aren't going to sound good in the club. Plus, you want to make a little bit of room for your sub, and then we have the sub. So the sub is made using that kick, and what we're doing is it's the same MIDI, right? It's just doom, doom, doom. But what we're doing here is you can see I've actually taken that same kick. And yeah, basically I've warped it, and then we're just taking this spot in the middle where you can see there's a lot of bass. I also pitched it down a little. And we're just doing that. Then there's the 16th note delay. And then an amp. So you can hear we get this nice rumbly sound, and then we're going to low pass it and take just the rumble. And there you go. Now all you have to do is just sidechain it a little bit. And then cut a little bit of sub out of this as well, because we want it to be a bit airier. And I find, you know, with this Hardgroove stuff, you don't really want that like really deep, aggressive rumble. You want something that's a bit more open like this. Put it under the kick, and there you go. And then on the groove, all we're doing is a bit of a sub cut again, just to clean these up and make sure there's not, you know, a whole bunch of messy frequencies down there, plus converting it to mono. Then we've got our hi-hats. Classic 909, not a whole lot to be said, although I will say this one I had to make a bit shorter, and that's really going to help the groove. You know, like you make that really long and hold out the notes too long, it's going to be messy. You just want this little short, just like that. Then we have our clap. So we have a clap with a little bit of reverb. I turned the pre-delay up, so it's kind of like. And then this, which is like this little percussion I chopped out of a loop. I warped it in here, and then you can see it just fits under that. And let me show you the difference. So if I just play these like main drums without that, it grooves, right? Like this has to all work without it, but then check out when I add it. So this is what a lot of these Hardgroove producers are doing, because it's just going to add that thing where, you know, there is going to be a rave loop in the background and stuff, but then when the snare hits, all of a sudden there's just a little bit more groove on that. You know that Hardgroove thing where it's boom. And this is how you do that. You're basically just going to layer that with your snare. Then we've got this rave loop. So the key to these drums is you have to get these good already. Like these are already grooving, and then you add this rave loop. And the whole thing's gonna really come to life. So we've got that. It's being sidechained, and then we're just cutting out some lows and some highs. We also have a ride in here that comes in halfway through. You know, not too in your face, but it's just going to add a nice airiness to the groove. And then we have this crazy lead synth. So this might seem complicated. If you look at it though, it's literally just C and B, and then like one G and one F sharp in there. Right, if I turn off the side chaining, you can hear it a little bit better what it's doing. So I'm going to turn off all the effects and we'll just go from the start. So we're really starting with this synth patch. Right, so it's starting off, it's not really that far from what it kind of ends up as, right? But basically, it's actually just saw waves. That's the thing. It might sound really complicated. We're using wavetable, but it's just saw waves. That's all it is. You got one down here. You can see I've got, yeah, and then on this one, it's up an octave and a fifth. That's the key. Right, you can hear that. It's like, if we put this in the same octave, or even like an octave up but not a fifth, it's not the same. So we got that. Then we have a low pass filter. It's on the SMP settings, so we get the drive up a little bit. There's the amp envelope, and then we also have an envelope on the filter. Plus this LFO1 is on the pulse width of oscillator 2. So you can see, like, that kind of makes the oscillator disappear for a second and then come back, and it sounds really nice. I've also got a bit of key tracking on the filter as well as the oscillator 2 pulse width. So that means, like, when you have these low notes and then they're jumping up to high notes like that, the oscillator is going to react different, and you get a very dynamic synth. So if you want a synth like this, give it notes across a few different octaves, and then try key tracking stuff, and you'll see that. But then there's a little bit more modulation that's happening. You can see right here we've got this shaper and this LFO. So if I turn those off, right, and you can turn those up and play with them. And basically, I got that on the filter 1 frequency. Right, and then I've also got that LFO on the offset there, and these are behaving a little bit strange, but basically they're moving these around so that you've also got that on the oscillator 2 a little bit. Right, and then you're just getting a bit more movement with those. Then we got some delay, a bit of distortion after the delay, so that it can kind of like bring that to life, and it can bring the delay to life as well. We have a compressor, which is just kind of flattening things out a little bit so that it's not so in your face, and so that it can kind of like just fit a bit better in the mix. Sidechain, high pass, and then a little bit of a cut up here because it was a little bit messy, just kind of cutting out some harsh frequencies. And there's the synth. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full template, project files, samples, MIDI, presets, everything in this video. If you want to take apart this crazy synth on your own, it's all at the top of the description. Definitely go grab that while it's available, guys. Don't miss out. This is the best thing you can do right now to make your best Hardgroove techno track today. Thank you so much for the support, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.